3 streaming platforms running simultaneously. How wacky, how nutty. But we're getting a bit tired of the canned accordion music. So I'm just going to share the links to the poor sods on Twitter who don't have native streaming of their own. You shouldn't have to miss out unfairly, unjustly. There's accordion for everyone. And then the live music will begin. I just need, let's say, 90 more seconds. You know what? Twitter can look out for themselves. I can share that with them later, after the fact, if you will. So yes, I've got my 3 devices going here. I can't show you all each other simultaneously. We would fall into some sort of feedback vortex. But hello out there to all my music friends on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. I tried to get a little fancy, and instead I ended up delaying my own set by 10 minutes. Let's play some love songs on accordion, because Valentine's Day is this weekend, and if I were to play love songs on a different instrument, it probably wouldn't sound as good. My name is Rowan Lipkiewicz. Thank you, everyone, for joining me. All 3 of you. Yeah, you too. This is going to be fun.
Blue, Tuesday's gray and Wednesday too. Thursday, I don't care about you. It's Friday, I'm in love. Monday, you can fall apart. Tuesday, Wednesday, break my heart. Oh, Thursday doesn't even stop. It's Friday, I'm in love. Saturday waits. Sunday always comes too late. But Friday never hesitates. Oh, I don't care if Monday's black. A Tuesday, Wednesday, heart attack. A Thursday, never looking back. It's Friday, I'm in love. Tuesday, Wednesday, stay in bed. Oh, Thursday, watch the walls instead. It's Friday, I'm in love. Saturday waits. Sunday always comes too late. But Friday never hesitates. Just look through the eyes, it's a wonderful surprise to see your shoes and your spirit shine. Throw what you found, just smell the sound. Thick as the sheep spinning round and round. Always take a big bite, such a gorgeous sight. To see you waking on the middle of the night. You can never get enough, enough of this stuff. Friday, I'm in love. Oh, I don't care if Monday's blue. Tuesday's gray and Wednesday too. Oh, Thursday, I don't care about you. It's Friday, I'm in love. Monday, you can fall apart. Tuesday, Wednesday, break my heart. Oh, Thursday doesn't even start. It's Friday, I'm in love.
I made it. I got my set started. streaming to 3 magical platforms, each of which I think has got at least one viewer on them. We're going somewhere here. The future is now. And I made it through, my first song, Friday I'm in Love by The Cure, because I am in love with my wonderful wife. You saw me sniffing at her earlier when I thought she was blundering in on my very stressful, strange setup, but she's wonderful. The song is by The Cure. Lots of fun. And, only more fun with the addition of accordion. I begin with Friday I'm in Love. I played this trick also last year because I am part of a program of streaming accordion performances today called Accordion Fridays. So, yes, apt. It is spearheaded, masterminded by the amazing René de la Prade of the Shipcats in Hamburg, Germany, the genius behind the incredible Accordion Babes Squeezebox calendar. Sadly, I am not a part of that calendar. For a long time, we've been talking up the potential possibility of having the Response Accordion Hunks Beefcake Pinup calendar, but it hasn't happened yet. One more year, maybe 2022 will be our time for it. If you haven't got a calendar yet, I know we're into February, 2021 is ticking by. With the pandemic and all, it does feel like there's few occasions needing calendar scheduling, but let me assure you, you can still find it useful to help mark the old passage of time. And if you don't have one, it's an incredible calendar that those accordion babes sell, and it comes with a whole compilation album of all the participating artists and performers who, great as they look, they sound even better. I'm starting with the classics here. The phase, if you like, Infatuation. I began with a little canned music while I tackled a couple of technical problems, and that was a old, I guess it's a Scandinavian fiddle tune I picked up from an Andrew Bird album. One of the very first songs I worked out for myself on the accordion, called the Swedish Wedding March. I get to play accordion in all kinds of crazy situations that I never could have anticipated when I picked up this instrument. When I became the Britney Spears 9 Inch Nails accordion guy, I wasn't expecting necessarily to end up playing at people's weddings, let alone at the Penthouse or at the opening of a tattoo parlor. Now, there's some specialized repertoire for those latter venues, but for weddings, it's very interesting to play a wedding when you're kind of a goofy. What do you expect of a wedding accordion music? I don't know. The field is wide open, and then you get the goofy requests. I may touch on that a little bit later. But of course, we've been having less social gatherings over the last calendar year. With it, fewer big weddings, fewer opportunities for me to share my great, peculiar take on accordion repertoire with festive wedding audiences. Missing it a little bit. But I know when the pandemic has been flattened, people will resume having weddings. I'm pretty confident. And there may be less shaking hands at the wedding, less, I'd make some sort of rude joke here, but my heart's not in it, because I am not in a rude frame of mind. I am in a celebratory, happy, festive, Valentine's-y frame of mind, because it's Valentine's Day long weekend here in Vancouver, and I am here to play for you romantic Valentine's love songs on my accordion. Thanks again for hanging in there. One of my old favorites, another early song I worked out while teaching myself this instrument, Dead Milkman.
travel around the world. You and me, punk rock girl. I tapped her on the shoulder and said, do you have a bow? She looked at me and smiled and said she did not know. Punk rock girl, give me a chance. Let's go slam dance, just like me, girl, just you and me, punk rock girl. We went to the Philly Pizza Company and ordered some hot tea. The waitress said, no, no. Got a panicky, jumped up on the table and shouted down a key. Someone played a Beach Boys song on jukebox. It was California Dreamin', so we started screaming on such a winter's day. She took me to her parents for a Sunday meal. Her father took one look at me and he began to squeal. Punk rock girl, this makes no sense. Dad's vice president, just like the Duke of Earl. Yeah, you're for me, punk rock girl. Shopping mall and laughed at all the shoppers. Security guard trailed us to a record store. Guys from Mojo Nixon said, you don't work here. Said if you don't have Mojo Nixon, then your store could use some fixing. We got into her car when we started rolling. I said, how much you pay for this? She said, nothing, man, it's stolen. Oh my girl, you're so wild. Let's have a child. We'll name her me and Pearl. Just you and me. We fuck on that swirl. You and me, yeah, we'll travel around the world, just you and me, punk rock girl.
All right. Gosh. Everything that can go wrong in your set, just make sure it happens at the start of the set, get it out of the way, then you can straighten it out and proceed. Oh, goodness me. So much fun. So glad to be playing music. You know, I like performing. You get a kick out of it. You get jazzed. And in the pandemic, you don't get to do it except in your basement office. 2, 3 very quiet devices, all staring at me, all plugged in various ways. Very exciting, intellectually challenging technical feat. Getting them all going, but doesn't compare to getting the blood pumping, getting the box bellowing, and making a racket. So, how about I play you some more music? Any other announcements I have to make? Yes, of course, I don't know what I sound like over there. I mean, a crazy man with an accordion? I bet I sound like a crazy man with an accordion, talking to himself in an empty room. But if you have any feedback about I can't hear you, or I hear you too much, it's too loud, let me know in the comments. I'm trying to monitor the chats where possible. And if I can do anything about it, I will. Usually solving a problem means I gotta stop the show for another 5 minutes, and it's incredibly boring for you and incredibly stressful for me. So I hope it all goes pretty smoothly. Alright, so we had a little infatuation period. Romantic music. Valentine's, remember, that's our theme. Can I keep this from falling down again? Probably not. That will be part of the suspense. Part of the suspense, back when I played with the Creaking Planks, we had a drummer, Polsky, who played pots and pans on an ironing board, percussion. And he didn't play carefully, precisely. He played like he intended to destroy the ironing board. And every 4 or 5 gigs he would. We had a stack of ironing boards lined up, replacement ironing boards for inevitably when he destroyed his kit on stage in the middle of a song. And I'd be playing, and suddenly I'd hear a big racket behind me, and everyone else in the band would stop playing, and I wouldn't know what's going on. And at the end of the song, I'd turn around, and all the percussion would be all over the stage, and it was suspenseful, because you knew it was eventually going to happen. If not this gig, next gig. If not this song, maybe the next song, maybe in the second set after the intermission. Who knows? Maybe my music will fall off the stand again. Makes things a little interesting for you. So from infatuation to rejection. Alright, this is perhaps the song that got me playing accordion by East Vancouver's poet laureate of the accordion, Jeff Berner. And he showed me accordions didn't just have to be a dopey punchline, suitable only for pleasant, happy champagne music. It could project the entire spectrum, the entire range of emotions, positive, negative, angry, embittered, sad. And this song specifically really spoke to my 20-year-old, my confused heart of a 20-year-old young man having romantic difficulties and finding it difficult to compete with in the romantic circuit. It speaks to experiences I had previously when I was in high school. Jeff Berner's High School Cruiser. In the parking lot of my school. You see the gaggle of girls next craning to get a gander at the man. See the lack of concern I'm feigning. He's here to pick up Sally and no sense saying that she could have been mine. Don't have to say it, cause I think it all the time. So sing, here he comes, the high school cruiser. Bring God and bless my soul. He's such a pathetic loser. He's 25 years old and looking for a fresh piece of ass. What's happened to the girls in my class? The hook's so thinly faded. The line is cleverly played. Oh, you're too sophisticated to be in the 11th grade. Well, now, in his head and his pants, you know he's rather insecure. With her, there's a lower chance we'll feel energy. Here he comes, the high school cruiser. Thank God and bless my soul. He's such a pathetic loser. He's 25 years old and looking for a fresh piece of ass. What you having to the girls in my class? In this wretched situation, what's a little you'd like me to do? Just stick with masturbation, or maybe corrupt the elementary school. I know, sometime I will have my day. I'll date my peer group so the little boys don't say, here he comes, the high school cruiser. Thank God and bless my soul. He's such a pathetic loser. He's 25 years old and looking for a fresh piece of ass. What's happening to the girls in my class? Oh my gosh. I'm not going to name any names, but one of my older friends who dated the girls I went to high school with is watching on one of these machines. Worked out pretty well. We've all figured it out. At the time, though, it was very pointed. You know, when I built this as a set of romantic love songs, I was really not being totally straightforward with you up front. A little perhaps misleading or dishonest, but yeah, it does pertain to romantic matters. All in one way or another. I'm looking for a specific song. I'm trying to bump ahead in my set because I got started so late that it's well worth taking the extra time. Okay, let's get serious here. Where is that thing? Here we go. One of my first musical arrangements by Vancouver's renowned slam poet, Alexandra Oliver. No longer of Vancouver, a part of one of our very earliest poetry slam teams, circa 1997, 98 perhaps. Captured in the Slam Nation documentary, was one of the great personalities immortalized in that document that charted Saul Williams' path to greatness. She made a pretty good case for Vancouver's unique poetics also. And I heard one of her songs and I thought, that's a great poem. Sorry, I heard one of her poems, I thought it's a great poem, but you make an even better song. You have to imagine I'm a beautiful young woman, which can be a little stretch of the imagination for some people, but I'm counting on you folks. Ring-a-ding-ding. From way back, like 2006, wow. I love a man who wears a ring and offers up a round of drinks, enchanting like the rites of spring, and enigmatic like the Sphinx, with a boyish disorderly forelock, caught in a fatal wedlock, offers up what every truant thinks. I'm a home wrecker, baby. I'm Julie Andrews' nightmare. When other kids read Nancy Drew, I was reading Flaubert. I knew it at an early age, whilst with my mother at the zoo. I saw the pandas in a cage, and saw the cage, but counted two. I realized to ease my cares in climbing those pubescent stairs, the only thing to which to swing was living for dividing pairs. Part two, according to you, I grew into a dame who loved the show of living for dividing pairs. I'm a homer, baby, a man usurping long hair. You're the barn behind the house, and I'm the one to go there. Let's do it for the hell of it, the aqua velva smell of it. I know you'll never tell of it to your domestic pillar. It's so very Henry Miller, and I know I'm only filler. Like you really could compare us. It's like standing Milo's Venus next to Amy's Phyllis Diller. And I gotta get to the second page. Get out of there. But not you. You stay in. I'm home, baby. I'm spiritually threadbare. I'm a flaming tart, and she's an angel in an armchair. So darling, go ahead. It's David in the birthday. Will she find out when you're dead? And what will the church say? You should go ahead and flaunt it right before you fossilize. Since you obviously want it, and I've had it with surprise. What's up to the regretful hours? To the field of purple flowers. Who's concerned with gaining trust? It's the free love magic bus. It's organic, fresh, and groovy. There's no need to be concerned. It's so obvious I've learned that her body is a temple, and that mine's a drive-in movie. I'm a home, baby. I'm really glad to be here. Get him off my knee and ask him for the check here. And so thank you for the drink. This has really been a treat. Life is luminous and pink when you're treacherously sweet, like the moon above the street, upon which the lover ruminates, the same one which illuminates the dishes in her sink. And it really made me think. It's so hard to swallow strife, but I'd rather not compete. You will need a sharper knife if you want to cut my meat. It's a lonely sort of life, so go home and fuck your wife. Ring-a-ding-ding by Alexandra Oliver. Speaks somewhat outside my personal experience, but really great specimen of the kind of work that it is. And I used this arrangement to win a song contest at the Incredible Music on Main, Music and Misery on Main open mic down in Little Mountain Community Center many years ago, back under the auspices of philosopher king Rick Keating was the host, and he presented to me my first place prize. It was a pickled beet in a jar shaped like a heart. He called it his bitter heart beet. Just good metaphor, good wordplay. Very creative, very arty. Good on you, Rick. This is one of his songs. You see, there's a thread weaving through. I would pull this one out when I was on the road with Joey on the Outlaw Band, and Joey broke a string on his guitar.
Never thought I'd see the day you hear me complain. There's too much wine on my shelf. I'm not blaming you. I could just refuse, but honey, I just can't help myself. I'll get loud and uncouth. Telling the truth, I sing a sad country song, and I'll drink to those lips that I'll never kiss, and keep a drinking until the wine is all gone. But I won't break this trust and embarrass us. I won't even let the dreaming start. Honey, I got some class, and I've got a glass. I know how to handle my heart. I'll get loud and uncouth, starting telling the truth, singing the sad country song. To those lips that I'll never kiss, and keep a drinking until the wine is gone. Back where I'm from, you run when you run, and you scream at the sky when you're on. You love hard and deep, and you sleep when you sleep. And you drink until the wine is gone. I'll get loud and uncouth, I'm sorry to tell you the truth, singing those sad country songs. And I'll drink to those lips that I'll never kiss, and keep a drinking until the wine is gone. And I'll drink to those lips that I'll never kiss, and keep a drinking till the wine is all gone.
Till the Wine is Gone by Rick Keating. I was on my way to, he was being featured at the Railway Club by Tamara Nile, presenting him, and I went to go see that show, and that's where I met Joey only to begin with. And he invited me backstage to play as part of his band, and I said, "You want an accordion as part of your band?" He said, "You play accordion?" And the poor guy, you know, one beardo looks much the same as the next, and he thought I was someone else, but rather than admit that mistake, instead I ended up playing with him in his band for years. Joke's on you, Joey. But I think it was worthwhile. Got a learning, got a lot of life experience, and maybe he picked up a thing or two also. Now when you're playing country music in those Alberta bars, they keep your throat lubricated. We had a game where I would actually stack shot glasses on my hat and we'd see how high the tower would get before they fell off. Those days are behind me now. They've left nothing but ringing in my ears, sadly. I'm going to take a little water break and figure out what I'm going to play for you next. I'm here for 20 more minutes on Accordion Friday. Thanks to the Accordion Babes of the famous calendar. And after me, you can go find Calvele Rasmussen from Berkeley, California, performing her Accordion Friday set. And after her, another hour, 7 p.m. BST, is that right? Yes. Salane and the Dark Family Hour out of Oakland. And of course you can go catch René de la Prade's previously aired set from earlier today with the Shipcats in Hamburg. And you know, in another Friday or two, there will be a whole new slate of performances. It's been a great boon. I played with Accordion Babes, Accordion Fridays, like 6 or 7 times last year, once a month basically, and it really kept my heart buoyant in our disaster year of very little gigging. Oh, well, I'm really disappearing off this screen completely. You get to see me waving my cup around, none of which has yet conspicuously entered my lips. Problem, you can't drink your water while talking to distract the crowd, unless you have some sort of gargling ventriloquism act. Sadly, that's not my specific texture of sideshow. Oh my gosh. I had so much great music to share with you. I'm not quite sure which direction to take it, but I know where the clock is ticking. So I'll get a little silly here with this number from Bill Oddie. It's about a somewhat unnatural love. It's very charming. I picked it up from Ralph Shaw, king of the ukulele, because one underdog instrument deserves another. Any planks in the crowd will no doubt recall this song, and anyone else who's never heard it before will never forget it. I often go out walking on a Sunday. I like to take a stroll down by the sea. There's a little shellfish stall down by the harbour wall. There I stop and say hello and think of how a year ago I bought myself a quite delicious oyster. I thought I'd save it for a special day. Gradually I found it was nice to have around. Now on Sundays if it's dry the people stop and stare as I go taking my oyster for walkies. She's really incredibly sweet. We go very slow because, as you know, an oyster has very few feet, if any. I'm taking my oyster for walkies. My oyster is taking to me. I admit I've had affairs with other mollusks. Mussels have a certain sex appeal, oh yes they do. I will recall the twinkle when I first saw a winkle. Surely nothing can conceal the candor of a jelly deal. I admit I caused a scandal with scallop, but I'm really not so shellfish anymore. Because the lovable crustacean has expended my frustration. Stuff your cockles, cause instead I'm happy in my oyster bed. When I'm taking my oyster for walkies, she's the daintiest dish ever made. With barnacles on it in her oyster bowl. She's the queen of the oyster parade. Ooh, she's lovely. I'm taking my oyster for walkies. My oyster is taking to me.
could marry the girl. If only she could see we'd be as happy as could be. We'd have an excellent chance at a pearl. Oh, do let's try. I'm taking my oyster for walkies. My oyster is taking me. I've been locked up with the limpet and I thought it was swell. I've had relations with the lobster, that was all very well. But you should see my baby when she comes out of her shell. I'm taking my oyster for walkies. My oyster is taking, oh yes, my oyster is taking, I say, oyster is taking me. Give us a kiss. Oh dear.
Bill Oddie via Ralph Shaw, taking my oyster for walkies. One of those best song on its subject ever written. This is not an especially good song, but it's about Valentine's, so I have no choice. I've got no choice. I've had to make a lyrical substitution because part of the song's name and refrain is a exonym that is characterized as a slur now. I don't want to perpetuate ethnic hatred, so I'm going to give you a little two-chord special by the legendary Shack Shakers, the world debut of their song Roma Valentine.
Take the finest wine in all the land, pour it out on burning sands, raise up the rarest desert rose divine. Teach the golden moon to glow, brightest steel on earth below. They will never match my Roma Valentine. That pagan gods will give a charge over heaven's shining stars, have them twinkle till they all fall dim and die. The oasis of her eyes makes a mirage of the skies. They disappear near my Roma Valentine. Make all the sirens on the shore any news of ancient lore by the hand at the heartstrings of mankind. Voices cracking the refrain, inspiration fades away. They're just jealous of my Roma Valentine. Woo, woo. Almost caught me. Unentwined the statue vine, a Pygmalion design is revealed like the deeps of love's lies. Fall down upon your knees, prepare your mind to receive the perfect form of my Roma Valentine. Beg the tree of knowledge, dare to prove, walk its fair forbidden fruit. Bring the nectar down in a turbid serpentine. The roots grow up from hell, sip it from the holy grail. No sin is sweeter, my Roma Valentine. Whoa, 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 Roma Valentine. Whoa, 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 Roma Valentine.
Now all that hard work I did restoring my throat, drinking water, and I've undone it. Legendary Shack Shapers, Roma Valentine. Thank you, Polsky. My name, of course, is Roland Lepkowitz. You are watching some accordion music on love themes on the occasion of Valentine's Day across 3 different streaming platforms simultaneously. Well, I hope most of you aren't watching 3 of them simultaneously. I've only got about 11 minutes left to share a few more songs with you. Let's see if I can make that happen. Let's see. First, direct your voice, then try to play the challenging song. What will happen? No one knows. Either I will fly or I'll crash. But I'll try some Elvis Costello. Not one of his better known songs, but I really like the juicy chord progression. Mm-hmm.
trumpets will trill in the Arabic streets of Seville. Oranges roll in the gutter, and you pick them up and peel back the skin. To the red fruit within, but the flavor is tart, and the flavor is tart. There's something you crave and you say that you only feel bitterness. And you know it's a lie, 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 wow. With a blackberry bush, where blossoms of cherries to crush. There, at the edge of the asphalt, tempting fingertips, you sting your hands pressing hard. They're calling your lips, but the flavor is tart, and the flavor is tart. Is it something you crave? Could you say that you only feel bitterness? Would it kill you to show us a little sweetness? When nothing else grows, it was something like love that she chose. Oh, sweet creature of habit, when pity would do. She wore down that heel with no feeling. She kicked down his shoe, but the flavor is tart, and the flavor is tart. Is it something you crave? Could you say that you only feel bitterness? Would it kill you to show us a little sweetness? Tart, the flavor is tart, and the flavor is tart, and the flavor is tart. Nylon was hung from a pig, and the coal black steam ran down her leg. Fishermen look for their nets and send their regrets, but the bug legs have broken. She spoke. Is there some kind of joke? The flavor is tart, and the flavor is tart. Is there something you crave? Could you say that you only feel bitterness? Will it come and show us a little sweetness? Tart, and the flavor is tart, and the flavor is tart, and the flavor is tart.
I love the progressions. The Elvis Costello fans hate that song because they say it's a fiction. You don't learn anything about his life. It's not, it doesn't give you a glimpse into the biography of the artist. It's just a bunch of pleasant flim-flam. But, there's something to be said for flim-flam. I am a great advocate on occasion of flim-flam. I got a couple more songs for you. Try this one. Back when I was playing weddings in the summertime with my old great colleague Ludwika LaPearl from the Creaking Planks, the Jug Band of the Damned, which now sleeps under the waves, waiting for time to be right to inflict the cosmic horror of crazy mishmash of acoustic instruments once more upon the musical scene. But this is a song I picked up from my wife and brought to many a wedding. It's by Blue Rodeo.
Strange and beautiful, the stars tonight that dance around your head. In your eyes I see the perfect world. I hope that doesn't sound too weird. And I want all the world to know that your love is all I need, all that I need. And if we're lost, we'll lie together So much control by so few. Coming from one disaster to another. Heard it all so many times before. It's all a dream to me now. A dream to me now. And if we lost, we are lost again. If we lost, we are lost again. In the silence of this whisper night, I listen only to your breath. And that second of a shooting star, somehow it all makes sense. And I want all the world to know your love is all I need, all that I need. And if we are lost, we are lost together. And if we are lost, we are lost together. Friends, we are lost together by Blue Rodeo. My name's been, of course, Rowan Mikovits. I've been playing accordion for you as part of the Accordion Babes Accordion Friday program, which continues for the next 2 hours. If you switch over to look up Cal Valet Rasmussen from Berkeley, California, and Salane's Dark Family Hour in Oakland, California, I got one last song for you, and I got to thank and credit all the important people and friends. Really great having you back in the Flim Flam contingent, Aaron. And I got a song that you personally signed off on as being allowed in the Plank Songbook. We never got around to doing it. I think we stopped doing Valentine's shows for some reason. I'm not so picky now. I'd like to remind you all, I'm part of Accordion Noir. We broadcast an hour of alt accordion music every Wednesday night from 10 to 11 p.m. at podcasts. We've been doing it for over a decade. There's hundreds of hours out there. So if you like stuff like what I'm doing, but played by people who can actually play, look it up. It's hosted usually by Bruce Triggs, author of the incredible accordion history book, Accordion Revolution, and he runs a swell accordion swag Etsy store as Accordion Bruce. It's worth looking up. Once a month, we present the Vancouver Squeezebox Circle, and it's a tremendous learning resource for accordion people at squeezeboxcircle.org. We're not gathering together in person in the cold season. In the warm season, when it's still pandemic times, we gather in McLean Park. That might be coming up in the next few months. Until then, we're doing Zooms, accordion Zooms, the first Friday of every month, 7 to 9 p.m. And yeah, also I do a weekly accordion video series for the last 2 years, over 100 accordion recordings so far. Stupid accordion tricks. If you found me here, you'll be able to find them there. It's out there. And here you go. A Weird Al Yankovic song that he does not play accordion on. Someone's got to do it. Well, I heard that you're leaving. Leave me far behind, too far behind. If you found a brand new lover who decided that I'm not your kind, so I pulled your name out of my Rolodex, and I tore all your pictures in two, and I burned down the malt shop where we used to go, because it reminds me of you. That's right, you ain't gonna see me crying. I'm glad you found somebody new. 'cause I'd rather spend eternity eating shards of rolling blood than spend one more minute with you. I guess I might seem kind of bitter. You got me feeling down in the dumps, 'cause I'm standing all alone with the cares thinking of love, and I hope you lose the service pumps. Oh, so honey, let me help you with that suitcase. You ain't gonna break my heart in two. But I'd rather get 100,000 paper coats on my face than spend one more minute with you. I'd rather rip out my intestines with a fork than watch you going out with other men. I'd rather slam my fingers in the door again and again and again and again and again. Hey, you see what I'm trying to say? Darn it! Rather have my blood sucked up by leeches, or shove an ice pick under a toenail or two. I'd clean all the bathrooms in your central station with my tongue instead of one more minute with you. So I'd jump naked on a huge pile of thumbtacks, or fill my nostrils together with lazy glue. I'd rather dive in the swimming pool till the double-edged razor blades than spend one more minute with you. I'd rather rip my heart right out of my ribcage with my bare hands and then throw it on the floor and stop on it until I die. Then spend one more minute with you. Thank you everyone for hanging in there. I've been off the streaming wagon since I ran a whole streaming festival in November. Oh my god. I gotta get my chops back. Maybe I'll be back in March. Maybe I'll find a fun, if somewhat irreverent way of celebrating International Women's Day. I don't know. That's probably a bad idea, but I got lots of songs there that aren't going to infringe on anybody. Thanks so much for joining me, all of you out there, and check me out next week. Check me out next month. Thanks for joining in, and I hope you'll make some videos yourself. Now, go on over to Accordion Fridays and go check out Calvalet Rasmussen and Selene and the Dark Family Hour. What they are giving up is nothing like what I got, and vice versa, but it's all a good time. Thanks again also, Renee de la Prade and the Accordion Babes, for having me as part of your series. I look forward to coming back. Be a little smoother next time. Now you think ending one string is awkward. I gotta find a way to gracefully end three simultaneously. Goodbye to Facebook. Da, da, da. It's not really off yet.